Okay, well, I mean, from a Christie's point of view, we are wine auctioneers who sell all around the world. And for us currently, the biggest growing market is the Asian market. Over 50% of what we sell from our sale rooms around the world is currently going into the cellars of Asian collectors. So this is something that really has begun to happen 3 or 4 years ago, but is now growing, and prices are rising as a result of that. Well, here we are standing in the middle of Vinexpo in Bordeaux, so it probably won't be surprising to know that the most popular wine for these new collectors is the traditional wines of Bordeaux, the wines that have been the most popular for 200 years or more from Christie's point of view. These are still the wines that are driving the market, and the most famous and the most illustrious chateaux of Bordeaux are the wines that the Asian market clearly wants to get hold of, and the best vintages, of course. Well, as I said, even though Bordeaux is by far the biggest group in terms of value, we are beginning to see also wines like SUPERTUSCAN wines becoming also on the shopping list of these Asian collectors. We're talking about, obviously, the well-known names of Sassicaia, Ornellaia, Masseto, these types of wines. Currently, it's limited to those brands. I think some of the more traditional Barolos and other wines of Italy, northern Italy particularly, maybe are also becoming popular in the next years. But currently, it's the stable of SUPERTUSCAN wines, which would be, let's say, the closest to Bordeaux from an interest point of view. I think that your question about supply and demand is an interesting one, because without doubt, the top wines are available only in small supply, relatively speaking. And the growth of demand across Asia will almost certainly mean that these wines will continue to grow in price, without doubt. I mean, there's absolutely nothing that can stop that. A limited supply and an increasing demand will always have that effect. The traditional markets for Christie's, which would be Europe and America, and even already Asia for many years. I mean, the fact that Asia is now growing is an indication that the market has already been there for maybe 20 years, but it's something that's grown enormously in the last 3 or 4 years. The rest of the world is still in demand for those wines, and so it's not that the people of Europe and America don't want those wines anymore. They're still trying to get them, but currently it's the buyers in Asia who have the purchasing power, and they are almost certainly being successful whenever they bid in auction. I think in the longer term, the Asian demand will begin to flatten out. And I think at that point, a lot of the traditional collectors will be able to come back in. I think at the moment, the market is a little bit overheated. Prices are going up perhaps a little bit too quickly. And I think as a result of that, even some of the wealthy Asian collectors are beginning to pull back a little. So I think that from an auctioneer's point of view, we would like to see the market stabilizing a little in the next year, and prices, if anything, dropping a little to reflect that more selective interest from the Asian collectors.